In a town known for its high rollers and its big spenders, the biggest, most dangerous sports gambler of all time is in a category all by himself.
Yeah, Billy Walters helped to revolutionize sports betting, and along the way, he rubbed elbows with casino legends, fearsome mobsters, and lawmen who are out to get him.
Walters shared some of those highlights and low points with 8 News Now Chief Investigator George Knapp. Wow.
This is Horatio Alger meets Tobacco Road, literally. Bill Walters, a self-described hillbilly from Kentucky, rose from dirt-poor origins to the pinnacle of wealth and success in Las Vegas. At one point, he was wagering more than $20 million per week on sports events. Most surprising of all, he kept winning.
If I were to look back over my life, the reason that I've had success is because of perseverance, and more importantly, hard work.
How hard can it be to plop down huge sums of money on sports events? Everything from NFL powerhouses to obscure college basketball teams to golf matchups. Not so much. The hard part is winning, and doing so over and over. Bill Walters admits he's had losing weeks, even losing months, but never a losing year. The Sharks of Las Vegas sportsbooks would have called that impossible.
Back in those days, George, no one believed that you could make 30, 40, 50 bets a week and be successful. They felt like the juice would prevent you from winning. But the bottom line was we could. And the more bets we made, actually, the bigger advantage we had.
Walters was born into poverty in rural Kentucky. His father died young. His alcoholic mother ran off. And by age 6, he was being raised by his hardworking grandmother. He mowed lawns, delivered newspapers, worked the tobacco fields, and spent his days in his uncle's pool hall, where he discovered an instinctive attraction to gambling long before he turned 10. After high school, his work ethic and smooth talking made him a superstar car salesman, averaging 32 vehicles sold per month. His bankroll was fat, but his gambling addiction was even bigger. He lost a son, went through a divorce, was busted for bookmaking, and made a fateful decision to move west.
Or I had to go someplace where gambling was legal. I could be a part of the community. I was going to be around, like people. And other than marrying my wife, Susan, the best decision I ever made in my life was moving to Las Vegas in 1982.
On his very first trip to Las Vegas, Walters fortuitously met 2 gambling heavyweights, Benny Binion and Kirk Kerkorian. Binion, he says, was the smartest person he's ever known. In his best-selling book, released earlier this year, Walters details how he became friends with and a student of the world's best poker players, discovered a talent for high-stakes golf hustles, and eventually became associated with some MIT brainiacs known as the Computer Group, who developed algorithms that help predict the outcome of football games. The combination of their tech savvy and Walters' inherent gambling skills proved to be formidable, revolutionized sports betting, and made Walters a wealthy man. It also attracted the attention of Las Vegas Rockets boss Tony Spilatro, who tried to muscle his way into the operation. The FBI suspected the Computer Group might be a front for the mafia.
We ultimately ended up being indicted for that. And of course, when we went to federal court, the truth came out, facts came out, and we were exonerated. But it was 7 very difficult years going through that.
Success in sports betting depends on good information, and at the peak of his success, Walters had close to 1,000 people around the country working with his betting ring, sending him tidbits of info. But the decisions on what to bet and how much were all made by him.
Sometimes there would be, hundreds of bets a day, and we would start. I'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then we would start betting as soon as the bookmakers open, and I didn't go to bed till 1:30 or 2 o'clock at night.
You make the final call on all those bets, it's you.
Yes, correct.
Walters says one of the worst decisions he ever made was allowing the CBS News program 60 Minutes to document his operation in 2011. He reluctantly agreed to speak to 60 Minutes because he wanted to stand up for Las Vegas as being way more trustworthy than the corporate scammers of Wall Street. The story ticked off federal regulators and painted a bullseye on Walters' forehead.
Today, we announce insider trading charges against Billy Walters.
After multiple investigations over several years, Walters was indicted and convicted for insider trading, something he insists he did not do. At age 71, he was sent to prison for a 5-year stint and wasn't sure he'd ever leave.
As soon as I got out of prison, you're right. I was upset. I'm still upset. And I'm upset about what happened to me, but I'm more upset about what happens to other people who don't have the resources to be able to defend themselves.
His book, Gambler: Secrets from a Life at Risk, is filled with colorful Las Vegas characters along with a detailed tutorial for how to succeed at sports betting, how he did it. 100% of the proceeds go to his preferred charities, including Opportunity Village and a program to assist prisoners segue back into public life. A movie is in the works about Walter's life, along with a documentary series.
Why am I not surprised? There's going to be a movie about his life. Did he end up actually serving that full 5-year sentence then?
No, he served more than 30 months. That's when COVID hit, and he got released. His sentence was finally commuted by former President Trump on Trump's last day in office. And Walter's lawyers had been lobbying for a full pardon, but Walters thinks that was blocked by Trump's friend, Steve Wynn. There's a story in the book about those two, too.
Wow, talk about a full circle moment.
Yeah, a lot of skullduggery in there where people were following him around, tapping his phone, looking at his garbage, trying to figure out how he would bet, and he would throw him a curveball now and then.
Interesting report.
Interesting guy.
George, thanks so much.
Sure.